Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for episode 2 of the 21-22 season. Episode 2 already, talking about Rangers. This week we've got a summer signing tier list. It's just that sort of start of the season content that we're doing, ranking the squad, ranking the signings and stuff like that. So it'll be next week. We'll probably end up doing the league predictions and all that. So stay tuned for that. But today we're going to talk about, as I said, always Gerrard summer signings that he's made. And he's fourth season as manager now. That's crazy to think. We'll rank all of them. That'll be at the end of the podcast. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about the Tranmere game. We're going to talk about the friendlies that have been announced and coming up. And then we'll talk about the Euro 2020 final, because that was obviously headline news this weekend. But as always, if you do enjoy the podcast, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Very much appreciated. So going into it then, Rangers 0, Tranmere 1. What happened there on Saturday? I didn't see much of the game due to working, but I've seen the highlights. I've seen we looked rusty still. Obviously, you can expect that second game of pre-season. But now, 18 days till that first game against Livingston. Not necessarily getting worried, because hopefully we'll be in good shape by the time that game comes around. But looking rusty. We were looking, naive in front of goal at times. I seen Gerrard wasn't happy after the game about players not committing to tackles and stuff like that. Glenn Middleton was one of those people that I did see it happen to. But what was your thoughts on the game? If you've seen that much? I know it's hard to get streams for these.
Well, the two things I really wanted to take away weren't even the actual game. What's Ryan Kent doing with sort of like a beard now? Sort of trying to copy you, Jack, is he?
No.
Scuff he's got. Obviously, big Brandon Barker with a bald day as well, and I'm a bit of respect for that. But no, it is what it is, mate. It's just a friendly. It's just about getting the minutes in. It's just about getting the legs warmed up, getting them ready to go for the Champions League qualifiers coming up in the league game, as you said. So obviously, you don't want to lose a game. You want to win every game you can, but it's just a friendly at the end of the day. I don't like the idea of players, you know what I mean, just running away for a tackle, get stuck in. That's your gravy, son. Come on, get stuck in. If you're watching that Copa America, they were getting stuck in. So
No. You're just hoping eventually sort of comes to click together. I know it's obviously a friendly. Players that won't be here, I think, are obviously playing Barkers and stuff like that. But we'll need to start scoring goals. We'll need to be more confident in front of goal, even if it is a pre-season game. I mean, so I'm hoping eventually that does happen. What's the next one against Arsenal? That's Saturday now. So big test for anybody that's playing in that one, Arsenal. And then Real Madrid, Brighton. I was blown away when they announced that we were playing Real Madrid at Ibrox. I was just hoping I could have bought a ticket for it. I know you have strong hatred towards Real Madrid. Obviously, I don't like Florentino Perez. So, what's your thoughts on these games? Obviously, with your Real Madrid hatred aside, it's obviously such a massive thing for Rangers to secure these games.
well, listen, don't forget Burnley's under 23s and all in a closed door game. But that's probably no, it's just massive to see us playing Real Madrid, obviously at home. It is a shame that, you know what I mean, it is the moment. Might not be fans in there. The place should be full to the rafters. Boys should be getting cheered on by the full crowd. But who knows? I'm just praying. We get some. Poppy's happy for the game and all. She can't wait for that game and all. She knows what's going to happen when we play the Rats for Madrid. So I'm looking forward to it. As I say, it's like us to probably lose to Tranmere and then beat Arsenal and Real Madrid. But the most interesting one for me, Jack, as I said to you, is seeing Agent Duffy again. I want to see this boy again.
Agent Duffy back at Ibrox in blue this time as well with Brighton. You couldn't write it. You just can't get away from Ibrox. Hopefully he's falling about in the deck again, making an embarrassment of himself at Ibrox. But looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to Arsenal at the weekend. Again, would have loved to have been in the stadium for that. Real Madrid, sadly, I'm going to be missing out and seeing Benzema. That's my sadness for that one. But looking forward to all these games. Big tests in there. Obviously, we've still got Blackpool and all in between that as well. So big tests for the full squad. and I'm just looking forward to see what happens in terms of who stays, who goes, because that'll be obviously the Euros is done. The talk will all be players coming in and out now.
Well, I definitely will, mate. Sorry to hang with you, but I'll start that off. Let's just tell Jordan Jones where the exit door is right now. Let's do that.
Aye, I know. Which shirt? Obviously, have you seen the photos of him at Wembley and all that? I'm not. Guy can go to a football game all he wants, but
absolutely.
just to him, he just being around random people and all that. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me at first.
Listen, I'm all for Barisic getting himself a new car, flexing on Instagram. I get it. You're doing your thing, right? But what I'm not for is that it just seems like he doesn't care. You're around all these people. You're a professional footballer. You know the risks that are there. You could potentially go back into the Rangers camp and affect people and mess up pre-season. So that kind of attitude for me is not acceptable at my football club. I'm sorry. At our football club, mate, it's just not acceptable. The guy's he's no professional at all. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know where he's got all these fans for though. Like, fair enough, he's a good player. Like, I've always seen he's got talent, but he's just not get the head screwed on to show it enough for like Rangers or that. And when I was thinking about it, like, he can go to a game all he wants. He can whatever. The club would have given him permission to do it. I would imagine. Like, surely he's not going to Wembley and all about random people and all that. But for Jordan Jones, I feel that him going to Wembley shows what he's more interested in. That sort of life, showing off. He should be on fucking Ibrox training park 24/7 trying to make himself a Rangers player, a Rangers starter for Gerrard, but that should be his priority.
Let's be honest. If this guy wasn't playing for Rangers, he'd end up on Love Island. Let's be honest.
No.
Honestly, he's that kind of guy for me. He should be, man. He should be wanting to prove everyone wrong, prove people like myself wrong that don't believe he has that right attitude. As you're saying, he should be on that training ground. He should be focused. There's already going with a game, but my main thing is you've seen the scenes down there. Aye. If he picks up that and he brings it back into the training ground, man, that could mess up our pre-season.
Aye, and then what I don't understand is, right, if he's been given permission to go away to this, does that mean he needs to then isolate or whatever? Obviously, he'll get tests and everything like that, but then if he comes back into the Rangers camp, obviously, what happens for that? The whole thing could just go tits up. I get exactly what you're saying, and it just doesn't look good for him. Like, for everything he's been through at Rangers, then doing something like that, it's time to rip up that contract for me. Like, just get him out the door. Like, there's no point in just waiting and hoping for the player that's inside there, because it's never going to happen. He more cares about just all eyes on me. Like, I don't want to put in the work to play for Rangers. I just want to show off pretty much, and that's no good enough for me. And I feel like Gerrard kind of feels the same way. That if you look at Jonesy's history at the club, I don't know, he's never really stamped down a mark in the squad for whatever reason. Maybe this is the reason.
It's just Gerrard's probably the same as us. He's probably just disappointed.
Because he signed him, he's a good talented player, and then just never got anything back for it. So, aye. And then talking about the game he was at, Euro 2020 final, England, Italy. It did not come home. It came to Rome. What was your thoughts on that game? It was quite a mental game.
It was, mate. It was a chaotic start, to be honest with you. Probably my boy Calvin. I thought he performed massively well in a game that probably most people would think he probably wouldn't do that well in, to playing against Champions League players, winners of the competition as well. So I'm proud of Calvin for that. I thought Trippier was great at his game. I think that guy's had a really underrated tournament. I think people always underrate Trippier and what he does. I've seen Walker getting to the team of the tournament. I disagree with that. Tripp should be in there for me, but Italians just did what I expected them to do. Chiesa, what a player, what a talent. I don't think MD would argue if he said he was player of the tournament. But I'm just happy they lost on penalties. I feel sorry for Saka and all that, taking those penalties. They shouldn't have been put in that position in the first place. I think people like Raheem Sterling, I agree with what Roy Keane said. He needs to be going up there before that young lad. Do you know what I mean? That's no fair on him at all. Raheem Sterling's been there, won Premier Leagues and everything like that. He needs to have the goal to go up there and take a penalty. But if you're talking about the all over it, massive, just like disgusting scenes, mate, to be honest with you. Even when the game was going on, security guards and all that getting battered. I seen some women that was on the floor caving up, like my boy at the weekend there. But no, I'm happy Italy won the tournament. But I tell you what, they've got no chance of hosting that World Cup for me with the scenes at the end of whatever that's going on after the game, mate. Just disgusting. And I knew that would happen, by the way. I knew that. Didn't expect anything, mate. But that's disgusting what they've done to Rashford's thing and all that. That is just that guy's a king, man. He's feeding people when the Prime Minister of the country's not doing nothing. So
exactly.
I don't know.
You can criticise Rashford's penalty all you want. It was a shocking penalty, but see, abusing these players due to the colour of their skin and all that, that is fucking disgusting in my opinion. Like, vandalising a mural that's been set out for the guy, like, it's just sad that we still have to deal with this after everything that's went through like the past year in terms of trying to eliminate this. It's still happening. And my thoughts go out with Saka and everybody else that missed penalties like that. Guy's younger than me and you, stepping up my final to save England's tournament, and he missed, and he shouldn't be put in that position. I don't feel that Jack Grealish and whoever else is sitting there like should be going up before him. But in terms of the full 90 minutes of the game, I felt like England obviously started really well, and that was their downfall. Like, scoring that early kind of took the buzz out of the game in a way, where they were just trying to hold on to what they had. Italy then took control after the second half. I felt England in the first half were really hard to break down right enough. Didn't really give up much to Italy, but second half, Italy took control of the game and got the reward with their goal. But
just touch on my man, what's his name? At the back with Bonucci, what's his name? I forgot his name. Love him. See that when Saka back. I love that stuff, man.
I know.
It is a red card, but
he's like one of the last sort of old school captains that we have left, and it was just a joy watching him all tournament, to be honest.
I was hoping he was going to get Harry Kane. He had caught, he was hanging in Real Alba. I was hoping for that with Harry Kane. I thought he was going to like slap him up. You know what I mean? Yeah, but
speaking on the Saka incident, how are people that raging? That is never a red card. Like, that is a tactical yellow. He knows what he's doing. Like, take the yellow and move on, because he's never going to catch him.
I mean, you could probably go both ways. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you do look at it. I think the referees probably just took the fact that how long's left in the game probably into the fact and gave him the yellow. But if that's like throughout the game, mate, maybe it is. Who knows? But I just loved it. I love that kind of stuff, man. That's
I'm a big fan of
that. But what I loved most, I just love watching people like Rio Ferdinand and all that. I want to see them cry after all the stuff he said and all that. I mean, so no, I was happy with that. It's the same old, as I said, they build themselves up. It's the media, it's not even the team. I don't dislike any of these players they've got, man. I think they're all wonderful lads. They're so relatable, you can get along with, I think, majority of them. Maybe no Pickford, he looks a bit, you know what I mean? Bit occasional boy, but it's just the pundits, it's the media, man. They do it all the time, and then we'll have it the same for the World Cup coming up. But early were the best team in the tournament. Sorry, I know you put up Scotland as the worst on the Twitter. Scared to admit your boys Turkey weren't that good, Jack? Is that what it was, eh?
No, I like seeing people bite. That's it. Like, I know for a fact Turkey are definitely the worst team in the tournament, but if I put Scotland, people are going to be, we got a draw against England. But like, for me, that doesn't incite a good tournament. But Italy deserved winners throughout. I was happy to see them win it. Southgate bottled in a penalty shootout, but sorry. As soon as the game finished, it was only 500 days to the World Cup, so they'll be back. Don't worry.
But that's just ridiculous management to just put a 19-year-old lad like there for that penalty like that. That's, to me, that was bad. I agree. Like, a more experienced player needs to step up there.
Aye,
you know what I mean? Even Jordan Pickford will step up. You can't do that to a young lad, but it's what it is, mate. It's away to Rome now, and I'm happy because Rangers are back, so that's the main thing.
Exactly. It's away to the Italians. It was a great tournament. Really enjoyed Euro 2020. Eventually, it got played after a year, but loved it. If we start to finish, Italy, I think won everybody's hearts throughout that. So I enjoyed it. But now we'll go on to the tier list then for Gerrard summer signings. Since he's obviously been manager, so here we are. We've got 5 categories again. We've got 10 out of 10. you'll know the players that will go in that one. Very good, maybe players that are still there, signed by Gerrard or left, done a decent job. Kind of sad to see them go. Done a job, and you could maybe say sort of similar, that they were all right. They weren't as good as very good, and didn't work out. Players that were signed for like no why, and then straight up gash, just disgusting to watch in a Rangers jersey. So first off, then who have we got here? Al McGregor. It's like deja vu. 10 out of 10. No question about that one. Right, next one then, Andy King. Why did we even sign him?
True.
I'm going to put him in didn't work out, right, because he never played that much. But why did we sign that guy?
I don't even know why. I can't even answer that question for you, mate. Where does he play now? What, in Belgium or something? I don't even.
Oh, he went to Belgium. I think he's back in the Championship now, though. He's been around the block since he was at Leicester for his full career. Won the Premier League in that there, and then he's been round the block since. But just when he came to Rangers, I think he might have played 2 games, and I don't think he ever started. He played a couple of games off the bench, and then he was cut short. I think that kind of signing, he made it around the same time as Barker. I'm like, why are we even signing? Is it just for numbers or something? I didn't get it.
Might have been just for numbers at the time, mate. To be honest with you, I didn't think you're wrong to put him in straight up gash. Or didn't work out, one of the two. But the next one for me is
Scotty Arfield. 10 out of 10. Aye, free transfer for Burnley. Premier League experience, obviously, and helped us a lot. These 2 signings that Gerrard first made as the manager, showing his intentions, what he was wanting to do, with a bit of experience in there, and then with all the other players they brought in that season at first. So Arfield, definitely a great signing.
Tremendous signing. Definitely brings the club, as you said there. It's a player, mate. Fantastic signing it was at the time anyway.
Nah, definitely. Next one then, Joe Aribo, for me, has to go 10 out of 10 as well. Another one, I think it was a free transfer again.
Wow.
Had a lot of clubs sniffing about his name. I remember around that time as well, Lee Bowyer was like, why would you want to go to Rangers?
Aye.
Why would you want to go there? This is why he came here for all this glory he's obviously going to get for last season and next season. Another player that's going to be hard to hold on to, as we spoke about last week. But in terms of Joe Aribo's first 2 seasons at the club, he's been outstanding.
He's tremendous, mate. As you said at the time, why would you go to Rangers? Well, he's proven why he would go to Rangers. He's won the league. He's potentially going to win more trophies and hopefully playing Champions League football. But man, the free signings we're doing, the business we're doing, I think that has to be taken off to Ross and the boys, man, because wow.
I know you're looking at that. Free signings. Andy King was alone. We've still not spent a penny on any of these players yet. Throughout, but this is 2 seasons worth of Gerrard signing so far. Leon Balogun, then another one. I think he was brought in for free. 1 season. I'll obviously get the second season now. For me, I'm going to put him right there now. Very good. I think he's been good. He's been a good addition to the squad. And hopefully again next season he'll be under that. He's under that kind of utility kind of player. Like he can play anywhere across the back line. You'll call on when you need him. And he's also obviously a good starter for Rangers as well.
Oh, yeah, listen, that's what I'm on about, the versatility with him. He'll just play anywhere in that back line, mate. And I think he's just one of the players that just wants to play anyway. That's why he'll do it. It's a great experience to have. I know, obviously, free for Wigan, wasn't it? Wigan at the time. They were going down. But no, I just can't believe some of the business that we've actually done. I can't believe we didn't pay in for Joe Aribo, man.
It might have been a development fee or something, but I can remember he ran down his contract at Charlton, and then he came to Rangers. It must have been for free. I remember it around the time because we were where that photo is that he's there. We were in our training camp already, so I believe it was a free transfer. But anybody that's listening, please let us know if that was free or not. The next one then, Borna Barisic. Seen him flexing his new motor on Instagram. You see him flexing the scarf there. top signing. I think we signed over 2.2 million after we seen him Ozajek at Ibrox, who scored against us, and then Gerrard was on the phone straight away. He was like, "Oh, get this geezer signed up." So 10 out of 10 signing.
Definitely. Even though, as I say all the time, defensively, still no improved, but going forward is just a joy to watch. Some of the free kicks we've seen, fantastic, and definitely a 10 out of 10 signing, man.
Nah, definitely. Easy. Brandon Barker then still at the club, obviously. Went out on loan to Oxford the second half of last season. And that's what I was saying with the Andy King sort of transfer. Like, why did we sign this guy? I believe it was just genuinely to make up numbers. Like, I don't see any reason why we would sign this guy, and for me, it's gash.
Yeah, bro. You know what?
The new intro to this podcast as well is because obviously Greg Stewart's left. It's Brandon Barker enthusiasm, so I feel shite for putting him there. But
I tell you what, you should do, because I think when the boys played, he's a bit shifting. He's done all right. I would probably just put him in. Didn't work out, to be honest with you.
We'll put him the same as Andy King then, because I feel bad for doing that to the guy now.
Aye, mate, come on. Listen, I'd have put them there straight away when he signed. Even when he signed, I thought, what is this? This is a backward signing. This is like a Mark Warburton signing. But I don't think you can fault the lad. When he has put the jersey on, he has played all right. Obviously, you think about when he started at Old Firm, you thought to yourself, why is he playing? And then he was on the park, and you were thinking to yourself, why is he still playing?
Yeah, I know.
But no, I've got nothing. But
aye, that's the thing with him. He's shown in signs that he can be good, but then the majority of the time it's just lackluster. Like, he got a few goals last season when he was in the squad at the start of the season, and that you were maybe thinking, what is this guy improved any? But went out on loan. I think he had a decent loan at Oxford and that, but I don't see his future really being at Rangers any further. But we'll put didn't work out for him so far.
I just feel like it's a bit harsh to just put him in straight up gas, you know what I mean? When I do feel like he has put some shifts in, and he wasn't the best signing, but I can think of worse signings than him.
Fair enough. I can actually as well, because I'm looking at them. I'm literally looking at the bad ones. Right, Calvin Bassey then signed last season as well. Bucket hat Bassey, of course. I'm going to put him in, done a job so far, because he's obviously young, one for the future. He's got game time last season, which I didn't know if he would. And he's looked every single time I've seen him. He's looked good. He's looking good in pre-season as well. So I'll put him there for now. Obviously, you're a big admirer of Bassey. So you're hoping he's up there. And when we do this video again in a few years, he's up there.
Oh, listen, I'm hoping that he's going to be up there, mate, because he is, as I say, exciting talent. And obviously we signed him for Leicester. And it was a bit of a weird one, I thought. But I thought he was just going to be academy sort of kind of player. But he's come through, and he's got all the qualities for me. I do feel like he's better than Barisic in terms of he is defensively aware, and he's good at doing both, which he should be. And I'm just hoping he can potentially shove Barisic at the team, and Barisic can go and flex more Lambos or Porsches or whatever he wants to buy. And he has done a job so far. And I'm just hoping he can get in the first team this season, mate. Hopefully, might not hang with this season, but later on seasons, hopefully he can break into the team. Who knows?
I would say so, definitely.
I'm just thinking for the next one.
Lassana Koulibaly. A lot of people might have forgot about this guy, but he was signed on a loan deal for Angers. One of Gerrard's first signings, I feel, in the 2018 window. And this guy looked like an absolute world beater at the start of his career at Rangers. He scored against Maribor at home in that, what was that again, the Europa League qualifier.
Right.
Big result at the time. And then he just looked quality every other time we've seen him. And then he got an injury. And from that injury, he just fell off a cliff. And it's a shame, because I'll put him in, it didn't work out, because there were signs that he was a really good player. But the injury ruined him.
Just injury. It's happens to players, doesn't it? They can just be on fantastic form and kind of like Keema Roof and still do the job. But no, I know I seen him playing against Paris last season.
I know he's still there. Angles.
I turned VP on one time when he was playing. I thought, there he is there, putting a shift in. But I just didn't work out for him, did it?
Nah, it didn't. But what could have been what could have been a very good signing if he didn't get injured. That's the thing. But Right, Stephen Davison, he was a January signing at first on loan, but he became permanent in the summer. So I've put him in, and 10 out of 10, of course. He's been at Ibrox again since Gerrard's took over. It's just been flawless.
Well, listen, let's no lie here, Jack. Me and you both were critical of him when we first started this podcast. Let's not hide from
That doesn't need to be talked about right now.
well, I know it doesn't, but I'm just saying, guys proved us wrong, and he's for a class, isn't he? I don't care what anybody says, man. I love that guy so much, man.
Nah,
What a player.
player.
And he's still doing it, you know what I mean? Unlike Gareth Bale, who's younger than him, wants to play golf. This man wants to play football. For the full 90, doesn't want to get subbed off. He wants to play the full game. None but respect for him.
Nah, just a Rangers legend. We're literally watching every single time. So, Davis, 10 out of 10. But if you had asked us last year, maybe we would have been a bit different on that. But I don't know why. I don't know what was happening in the heat at that time. The next one then, George Edmondson. Back at Rangers, obviously, currently. We out in loan to Derby last season. Had a loan deal. No, I had a good spell in the team. Sorry, in 2020. I mean, that guy was playing Braga home and away. Leverkusen he scored against. So it was looking promising. He's still at the club, obviously. It can still happen for him. But don't know where to put him. Because it's not as if it didn't work out because he's still here.
Just put him done a job. He's done a job. He's played. I mean, it's crazy to think he's played in those big European ties and obviously get the goal in that. To be playing those kind of games and then going on to Derby, fighting for relegation, Wolf, that must tell you something. But I would say he's done a job so far. I'm hoping he can turn that around. I still really like him, you know. I think he's a good centre half. And I just hope he can turn that around, mate.
No.
Maybe go out on loan. Who knows? He might be one of them that's going out on loan. But let's hope he can turn that around.
Aye, hopefully. The next one then, Ovia Jaria signed on loan for Liverpool in 2018 again, alongside Ryan Kent and that at the time. This one annoys me. This one really annoys me because you can see his qualities like when he plays with Reading and whatever, but I just don't think he was suited to the Scottish League in terms of the physical aspect. He likes being on the ball and having time, and he didn't have time in Scotland to really do what he wanted to do. But I do feel there was signs there. He scored that goal that got us into our first Europa League. He scored a couple throughout his tenure, but it was cut short. I think he wanted to cut it short because he just wasn't enjoying life at Ibrox. And for me, I don't know where to put him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just think he couldn't handle the pressure of playing for Rangers. You're playing for Reading, it's much more easier to play. In comparison to Rangers, it's much more easier to play your game. Championship's still a rough and tumble league, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I just think he couldn't handle the pressure of playing up here. He's still a fantastic footballer. I'd probably just put him in didn't work out, mate, to be honest, because he did do a good job in that when he played for us, but
there was times when he was down here, and there was times where he obviously showed that he could be a good player. So I think in the middle of there, it just didn't work out for him, did it?
Nah, it didn't.
Then the next one then signed again for Liverpool, John Flanagan, and this guy at a time was starting for England at left back. He was most promising left back in Europe at one point. We signed him in a free transfer, and I'm just going to put him straight up there. Done a job. Signed that guy for free. Every time you called on him, maybe not been the best quality left back ever, but you get a decent 90 minutes out of him.
Put a shift in.
No,
I can say
pretty much. Definitely put a shift in every time he put the jersey on. So respect to John Flanagan for that. The next one then, Connor Goldson.
10 out of 10.
Next one then, Greg Stewart. Greg Stewart. Greg. Oh man, I want to put him here. I just want to put him
there. He's a fan. He's a fan. He's going
there. But I'm going to put him in didn't work. I'm going to put him in didn't work out. 10 out of 10. That's where I would put him too. But my heart is saying put him here.
Put my Greg in number 10. No, no, it didn't work out for him, did it? But as you said, Jack, I keep saying all the time, if you could swap lives with MD during the pandemic, it would have been Greg Stewart. You could just sit there and watch just play.
Literally just being amongst it all the time. Greg Stewart. Didn't work out, but what could have been again.
A goal.
He scored a good few. Every time he came on the park, he scored a couple of goals, But he just didn't play that much, I don't think, to be in that above one yet.
Oh, here we go. First straight Gash player.
First Gash player, Zero Skrezda. That's not even a question. 2.5 million, I think he was signed him for. Again for Osijek. And he didn't even look like a professional football player. That he was that bad.
Fair play. Just put him there.
There's literally nothing else to say about him. The category speaks for itself. He was straight up gash. Haji signed on loan at first, made permanent in the summer, so it still counts for Gerrard's summer signing. 10 out of 10 for you?
It's got to be.
I was more leaning towards very good so far.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not having very good so far for my boy Haji. I tell you what, this man has turned up in the game in Europe, as we all know, right? But he's also put in goals, assists this season, and he's still been, do you know what I mean? Oh, he's frustrating or he's what have you. I love this boy. See this guy, he could be a model, Jack, but he chose to play professional football and he plays for a club. So he's a 10 out of 10. If you want to put him very good, I can understand why you would.
No, do you know what? You're telling me why I should put him there, because
come on, he's turned up in big games when it looked like we were doing nothing, and then he just turned it around. And then obviously this season,
maybe that player we've been crying out for a few seasons as well, getting assists and stuff like that.
He's got the Pepsi deal, Jack. Do you know what that means?
Mr. Pepsi, exactly.
Pepsi. So who's it next? Oh, this is.
Sorry, I had to take a wee bev.
No. Pepsi glass.
I know, Pepsi glass as well. I didn't mean that, but Hasty. We spoke about him last week, and I can't believe he's still a Rangers player. Been out on loan a couple of times. Aye. Maybe under unfair duty, he's not played, but he's not going to be good enough, is he? So he's gash. Philip Hollander, next one. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely. Big man's not lost a league game yet, is he?
I know, for that, I know. I think we're seeing a theme here. I'm desperate to put somebody in very good, because Balogun's looking very alone.
So here's your man to put in very good then.
Cedric Itten goes in very good, right? So Hollander obviously never lost a league game, but signed for 4 million, and he's still at a good age so far that we could maybe, even if we sell him, make profit on that. So good, that's a 10 out of 10 signing. Cedric Itten then signed a year ago now. It's not that it's never worked out for him or that. He's just never had the starts that he's wanted, I don't feel. But anytime you see him on the park, he's always trying to do something. He's always getting in areas, and eventually, I hope it will happen for him.
I don't know what I'm going to say. Well, listen, Jack, I think he's going to go out on loan. If I'm the big man, I want to play games, and he's come here to play games. He hasn't come to sit on the bench. He's still a landlord of Motherwell. We'll probably get that game. He might, as I say, stay around for, as I say, cup games, things like that. It's a massive season when they'd want to play their part, but I've just got a funny feeling this guy's going to go out on loan.
Nah, I'm feeling maybe a loan for him as well, because we're going to make more signings. It's inevitable, but I don't know if they're going to be in the forward areas, and I don't know what that spells for Cedric. So he's been a good signing so far, I feel. We've needed him at times. He scored that massive goal, as you say, against Motherwell. Gets the first goal of pre-season and stuff like that. So I believe it is going to be a very good signing. Eventually, I'm still holding out hope for him, so I'll sit him there. Jamie Murphy, who has left the club, by the way. I was looking on Transfermarkt. He's away to Hibs for free, but signed under Graham Murray on loan, made permanent by Gerrard. Just didn't work out. It's a shame.
It's a shame, but I don't know, mate. I might put him in done a job, but
Because he scored the first professional goal of Gerrard's era in that Europa League game.
Listen, I think you've disrespected my man Greg Stewart, but Jamie Murphy here should probably, I'm only joking. Put him in. I'd probably put him done a job, mate. I think he did a job when he came on, and as I say, it's that part, that Astor Tuffy kind of part, that potentially cost him his career.
But then looking at that, like, he done a job, I feel, under Graham Murray, but under Gerrard he never really played much due to obviously that injury you're talking about. So in terms of that, when he was signed,
aye, but that's what I'm on. But those parks need to go. They have to now make it. If you want to play top flight Scottish football, you've got to get a real football park.
No, I know, 100% agree. Aye.
You know what? I didn't work out. It didn't work out for him.
But in terms of under Graham Murray, and he done a job in that respect, but never worked out under Gerrard. Then John McLaughlin, straight up and very good.
Very good.
Very good signing.
Very good, John McLaughlin. Very good.
Good business. With that one, free transfer. And every time we've called on him, he's been good. So, John McLaughlin, very good signing. Jordan Jones.
Streitel Gash.
He's gone there already.
He's in there.
We've talked about him at the start of this episode and stuff like that. He's just holding out hope for nothing, and it's never going to happen. Like, don't get me wrong, talented player, as I said, but under a Gerrard signing, he's been gash. Niko Katic, I think he goes in the same sort of bracket as Balogun. He's been a very good signing so far. He's been unlucky with injuries, but obviously the goal could maybe bump him up higher, and he'll be in that category. He's going to be one of the players that will come back to Ibrox and do the rising star draw when he leaves because of that goal. Like that's Katic. But very good signing, I would say.
A very good signing. Very good. I like him very much. He's very good. Very strong centre half. I like that about him. No, he's just. I hope it works out for him this season. I want to see him get game time. I want him to just get a chance, man. I felt, as you said, sorry for him, obviously, because the lockdown, things like that. He probably didn't have him, even though he's got a phone, he could FaceTime people. But I'm just hoping it works out this season for him. That's all I'm saying. That's bad.
I hope so, because his first couple of seasons he was a top defender. So I'm hoping he still takes that into this season. Maybe a loan for Katic, though. But
no, who's this? Who's this next one? Is this one up? I think this guy's straight up gash, to be honest.
Nah, Ryan Kent. Why did we even sign this guy twice?
Why did we even waste our time with this guy?
No, of course. Ryan Kent, 10 out of 10. First tenure on loan. He was class. Made it permanent. So we've signed him twice. Good business all round. Just what a player.
I mean, what can you not say about this guy? He's changes his look every time, Jack. You know, it's like he's playing career mode, changing the facial hair or the hair. But I hope one day to be as cool as Ryan Kent in life. I'll tell you that. But no, he's just a fantastic player, mate. To be honest with you, he's just, as we say all the time, he's a fantastic player. He's a key player on the team for me. Between him, McGregor, you could argue for so many. The top row, mate, are the lads that really did help win the league. And without him, who knows where we would have been? Because honestly, he is that vital for me. But
even in that picture there, when he signed at first on loan, it was a guy who failed at Bristol City, and then when he was in Germany on loan and stuff like that, so he was looking for a move to reignite his career, and he got that at Rangers. But really good showings in terms of Europa League. League form was great as well. But he was inconsistent. That was the only problem with Ryan Kent at times. But he's worked on that, and since he's been at Rangers, obviously he's been much better in his first season anyway.
Oh, honestly, as I said, I hope to be as cool as Ryan Kent one day. I hope to be as good at something as Ryan Kent is at football. Honestly, that, as I say, it was the shift signing. Maybe at the time people wouldn't hang with it, but for me, I don't know who we would have. I mean, you've got Chris done all that down there, but for me, Ryan Kent's just a man up here.
10 out of 10.
He's fantastic, mate. I love him.
No, you can't stop talking about him though. Like that's the thing. Like, see when you start talking about Ryan Kent, there's so many discussions about him. But we'll have to move
not
on.
only can he play football, he can also rap as well.
Exactly.
So,
He's got everything.
he's got
Literally
everything.
everything. And he's got a pet lizard or something. What is it? A dinosaur? Well, not a dinosaur, like a snake or something
Aye,
like that.
dinosaur.
Maybe 400 years ago, but he's got a pet snake or something. He's a bit weird, but we'll take it. Next one, Kyle Lafferty. Didn't work out for Kyle Lafferty second time around.
I forgot all about Kyle Lafferty. Oh my god, man. We've actually changed quite a lot. Kyle Lafferty. It didn't work out for us. I suppose that's all you could say. I remember, where did they go to? Did they not go to Norway or something to play football after that?
He's a guy, he's just been everywhere, I think. And then he found himself back at Kilmarnock last season. But it was a weird signing under Gerrard because I just didn't think Gerrard would tolerate Lafferty being like he's a renowned idiot. Like he's just a big stupid guy. Like I just didn't understand why Gerrard would have went for that.
I mean, well, first off, it's a bit harsh on him. You think he
would agree.
Well, listen, you think he couldn't tolerate Kyle Lafferty? He's put with Jordan Jones, isn't he? So,
you're right.
On that point, I know, listen, it was a bit of a weird sign at the time. I didn't understand it myself, but just didn't work out for him, did it?
Nah. And then the next one, Gareth McCauley. If you said to me, where is Gareth McCauley now, I would have still said he was at Rangers because nobody ever said he left. Nobody ever mentioned this guy leaving. So I'll put him there because he was brought in when he was 40 or something. Played a handful of games here and there, and he was all right.
I suppose a lot of these you just go aye, they're all right, I guess.
No.
Also, I did that quiz for you at the start of Euros, Jack, and you forgot about man in the
exactly. Even forgot about him then.
Yeah, I suppose he done a job, I guess.
He done all right. Shea Ojo. This was a guy. He was hard to watch at times. But he scored a few. He scored that great goal against Feyenoord actually at Ibrox. Don't know if he's gash though. What do you think?
Look, I didn't rate him at all. I thought he was awful. Obviously, he did score that goal, but I don't think he plays him higher than the other boy that's at Reading now, to be honest with you.
Nah, maybe just put him there. Seems like a common theme with some of these loan signings that we made. Like just came weren't great, but Shea Ojo didn't really work out for him. Kemar Roof, a year at the club, and I feel he's already a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, 100%. 10 out of 10, as I said, with some of the injuries and that, to still get the goals he got. Everyone's also going to talk about the goal in Europe in Pancake Land. I don't even know. I just think of Belgium. I think of pancakes and chocolate. I don't know why.
Belgian chocolate, mate.
Belgium chocolate. I don't know, mate. As I said, I was lucky enough to watch him before at Leeds and that, and it was quite sad when he left. But now he's back at the real club, the proper club. I'm so happy I get to watch him again, man, because he's just a fantastic footballer, fantastic forward, very intelligent in the box. I'm just hoping we can get a full season without injuries, hopefully, and just get more goals, man. That's the main thing for me.
That's the next step for him because he's shown even in I wouldn't say he was really injury prone this season. Also, he did have times. He always has injuries.
He always has that one injury. But whenever he's throughout a season, he'll have one injury and he'll just take him out, man.
But I hope a full season out of Roof, you could be looking at him at 25 plus goals, possibly, because as you said, he gets into the areas all the time. Definitely a good asset.
I know you like to go against Celtic, wasn't it? Against Celtic.
Oh, it was a beautiful goal because I felt like I was in Roof's body, and I'm like, I know exactly what you're going to do. You're just watching the ball with full time, and I just loved that goal.
I'm just looking forward to seeing more dance moves. To be honest with you, I'm loving them.
No. He scored
oh my god!
Sadiq.
This guy's
going to sell for about 40, 60 million now.
Aye.
But
straight up.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I wouldn't have even said he was a football player. Just won a raffle to play for Rangers or something for like once. That's how bad he was. I don't understand it though. Everywhere
40
else he's
million.
went, he's scored goals.
Listen, you're going to score goals when you play in the second division in Spain, aren't you?
No. But
So I'll never forget that game, mate. Honestly, you're right there. It sounded like it felt like somebody won a raffle to play for Rangers. The amount of how did he not score, man?
that Aberdeen, why did he dive? He was gash. He was like, if there was a tier lower than that, like he would be on that. Like he was that bad. He was shite.
Oh man.
Two big hitters left in. Joe Worrell. Now he's got what touted with 15 million moves to the Prem and all that.
Is he?
Burnley are apparently sniffing about him. But
makes sense.
When he was at Rangers, it was hard to watch.
Oh, he was so bad, man. He was so bad. I don't care, man.
He was shite. He was shite. Like, he probably wasn't as bad as the players in there, but like you could maybe say, oh, he done a job, but for me, anytime he played that.
I'm being honest here. Put that Ojo boy in there and all. I'm sorry. He was straight. So bad, man. I didn't rate him at all, man.
If we're putting Worrell there, I think we have to put Ojo there as well, because you can't just say, oh, he was all right because he scored one goal. Like, Worrell played 30 games that season, like majority of the games, and he's still down there. Like, that's how bad he was. And I can't believe we're in on 3 gashes in a row. Bongani Zungu.
Aye.
I can't even work my mouse right to get him up. Bongani Zungu then. Gash.
Just straight up gash. I didn't think he had the right attitude to be here. I thought he just came here to party. Do you know what I mean? That's my honest answer to that guy.
Aye.
I think it was a bit harsh sometimes for people to maybe say, blame him for certain things or what have you, but I just think he came up here to party. I don't think he came up here to play football. Unlike the other boy that we signed for France, if you put and he didn't work out, he actually did come here to play football and try and get himself a permanent move. But I just thought he came here to party.
Nah, he wasn't. I just don't understand why we chased him that long. Like literally the full summer, it was all about, right, Zungu, he's going to come to Rangers and all that, and then we get him, and you're hoping for this revolutionary fucking CDM, but I don't know, just never. Like, I just wonder why we were looking at him that long, because it just never seemed that he was that good.
I still can't get over that mad thing with boy that plays in Division of Spain, man. How is he linked with Man City or Bayern Munich in that?
I will never know. I will genuinely never know. That's what I just don't get it. Anytime I saw him, like, if you get on YouTube, like Sadiq playing with Rangers, he played in a friendly, and like, he's got the biggest legs ever. It was just looked like a sprinter or something. He didn't even look like a footballer.
No.
But that's how we've ended it on. A lot of good signings you can see for Gerrard's time. Like the usual suspects will be up there. Very good signings in terms of.
A lot of bad signings and all, but let's put them in there.
Like a lot of good ones, a lot of decent ones. A lot, like you could put Edmondson under there. Like you could maybe, if he has a season playing, he could be better. But they've been all right so far. Didn't work out. There's quite a few of them. And then Gash, as it ended there was a few gashes. So,
but that's as I said, that's the risk we took. Hiring Gerrard, he was going to make mistakes along the way. But that's only the learning process of being a manager. He's just constantly learning.
Exactly.
So
every manager's made a bad signing. Like it's always going to happen. But I feel like we're looking at last season's ones. I mean, like Itten, Bassey, Balogun, Roof, they're all up there now. But then you've got Zungu, maybe the poorer one of the two. But I feel like we're getting better signings as he learns more about being a manager and stuff like that, Gerrard. And this is what I saw about looking at what signings he's made throughout his first 3 seasons. We didn't add the ones that he's made so far this season because it's unfair to rate people when they haven't played. But maybe in the next couple of years we'll be able to include more players in this one. But I enjoyed that there. Plenty of good discussions in terms of players we've no wanted to talk about for a while, but I enjoyed doing tier lists. There's some laugh.
There's some laugh, mate. Some players you do just forget about because we're in a completely and utterly different mind space now. We're in the winning way again, compared to beforehand, where it just felt like a roller coaster. To be honest with you, it felt like some of the signings, man. I can't even believe some of them. But hey,
It is
onwards
what
and
it is.
upwards.
Onwards and
Exactly.
upwards. It's obviously good to talk about friendlies, but just I'm counting down 18 days until we're back into proper football again, and then the qualifiers and everything will start for the Champions League, and that's when things will start heating up. I feel, but that's the episode. If there's anything else you want to say before we wrap up,
Is there anything else I want to say before we wrap this episode up, Jack? Just can't get over some of the signings we've made. To be honest.
do you know what you need to do? Everybody listening to this point needs to go and watch Sadiq highlights, because that's what I'm going to do as soon as we turn off here. I need to see how this guy's scoring 40 a season.
I don't even know that, man. That's quite wow. It's nuts. No, not much else to say, mate. To be honest.
That's all good. We'll be back next week. We'll be talking about the Arsenal game. We'll probably give our predictions in terms of how we see the Scottish Premier League going. Because it's as I said, 18 days, a couple of weeks to go. But we'll look forward to that next week. And thank you to everybody that's listened so far this season. Much appreciated. And if you're listening to this point, again, subscribe, like on YouTube, and share if you're listening anywhere else. It'd be much appreciated. And we'll see you later.